It is a weekend of stars, fashion, and glamour. The 89th Annual Academy Awards will honor the year's best films, actors, directors, and much, much more. Our very own Ben Mulroney joining us now live from the Oscars red carpet to give us a special behind-the-scenes look. My friend Ben, one of the things I admire about you so much is you are always so pro, including being up at 4:30 in the morning, pocket square, suit jacket, and tie on. Impressive, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Anne-Marie. But the red carpet at the Oscars deserves nothing less. This is, in a lot of ways, the longest runway in the world. And as much as some people don't want to talk about fashion on this red carpet, it is big business for a lot of stars. They get suited up, they get outfitted in jewels and in dresses that sometimes run in the tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. And this can change the destiny of a fashion house or an up-and-coming jewelry maker. So, you know, I've got to do my part.
Well, there are a lot of people behind you also doing their part, Ben. Walk us through some of these preparations that are happening right now.
Absolutely. So keep in mind that we are still a couple of days away from the Oscars, and so much of the work has already been done. So I'm going to try to give you a little bit of sense of what's going on here. Now, obviously, you never know this time of year what the weather is going to be like in Hollywood. Just a few days ago, they had record-breaking rain. So if you look up, Dylan, if you can tilt up, as you can see, they've put a tent up. And in years past, they've put it up with the intention of taking it down if the weather allowed for it. They don't do that anymore. This thing will be up on Sunday, and it's fine by us. It allows us to at least know what we're dealing with in anticipation of the Oscars. Now, if we can turn around really quickly, this right here, this red draping here, is the beginning of the red carpet. On the other side of that, that is the arrivals. That's where the cars will arrive, and the A-list actors and the nominees and the presenters get out of their car, and they wait in there. They're sometimes offered champagne, but it's really about pacing, keeping them in there while all the other stars navigate this photo wall here. If you can see, this is a massive photo wall. The paparazzi stand over there, shout their names, get the pictures they need, and then allow the next stars out. Over here, right next to it, is the official ABC pre-show position, one of their many positions on the carpet, and this is where the stars will come up and be interviewed by the ABC team. Over here is what I like to call the trinity of the Oscars. You've got ABC, CTV, and E. Those are the first three live positions on this Oscar red carpet, and I have been privileged to be part of CTV's broadcast team for this will be my 14th year. And if you continue down this way, this is a 16,500 square foot red carpet, about the size of Anne-Marie's living room, interestingly enough. Yes, and you go all the way down here. You've got press from around the world that are going to be interviewing all of these stars. Gosh, I can't tell you how many. We're talking in the hundreds of members of the press. And then you'd think it would end at the end there. No, you take a right and you walk all the way in, up the stairs, and lining the stairs on either side is a list of the names of every single picture that is won Best Picture here at the Oscars. Who's going to win this year? Well, that's why you got to watch on Sunday. But over here, if you tilt over here just a little bit, this is where the bleacher creatures stand. Now, I know that Kelsey McEwen desperately wants to one day be a seat filler at the Oscars. Now, if you can't make that dream come true, may I recommend being a bleacher creature, which means signing up way in advance, sitting there all day long, and screaming your lungs out in the hopes of turning the head of an A-list actor, nominee, or presenter, waving, getting your picture, and then watching them walk into the Oscars. So that's what we're dealing with here. It's a really, really exciting time, and I can't wait.
Ben, this is fascinating, and I didn't realize that, your position there is such a prime one right at the beginning of that long, long line. I want to talk dress code for just a moment because, I mean, we know the stars are fully decked out, but you often see members of the media, including photographers, dressed in tuxedos. So what's the dress code to be where you are, including for the bleacher creatures?
Well, that's right. It is black tie. The bleacher creatures do not have to be dressed in black tie. However, all the members of the press, our camera people, our production crew, everyone has to wear a tuxedo or black. We will be posting on Sunday morning. You'll see a lot of it as we're prepping for the carpet. The entire eTalk and CTV team will be taking pictures, and you'll be able to see it on our social media. See even what the behind-the-scenes people wear. But yes, no matter what, this is a black tie affair, inside and out.
Canadian nominees that we're having our fingers crossed for, Ben?
Well, Denis Villeneuve, I think, is probably, and Ryan Gosling are two of the biggest. And yesterday, I was at the Canadian consulate to host the Canadian nominees reception. And this was in honor of all Canadians who are nominated for an Independent Spirit Award and an Oscar. Denis Villeneuve was kind enough to show up. And I've got to tell you, he was feeling absolutely sick. I tried to shake his hand. He did not want to shake anyone's hand because he has a terrible cold or flu. He doesn't know. He's almost practically lost his voice, and it's going to be very interesting to see whether he's able to turn that around for Sunday, because as you've seen, the gauntlet that he's got to run to get from the beginning of this carpet to the end is long, and it requires someone to be quite in good health to make it happen. But another thing that was very interesting at this nominee luncheon is you got to recognize that it's not just people in front of the camera that are nominated for these awards. A number of Canadians are nominated behind the lens, and these Oscars can change their career in a moment. To be known as someone from a technical background who has risen to the highest level and won an Oscar, that can change their career forever. So yesterday was a great day to honor them as well, and I promise you that no Canadian will be left untalked to by me on this carpet.
I have no doubt. You know, people have often said there's nothing new under the sun in Hollywood, but there is something new happening at the Oscars this year.
In what way?
Well, is the location mixed up? Is there anything new that's happening with the location that's different?
No, the location has been the same since I've been doing it, about 15 years, maybe 16 years. It's been here at the corner of Hollywood and Highland. Prior to that, it had been in a number of places, including the Shrine Auditorium, and that's where they do the SAG Awards. That's a very old auditorium. I mean, we're talking like the 1910s, 1920s, and that's located on the University of Southern California campus. And so the Academy wanted a permanent home, and they worked with the City of Hollywood to do just that, and they incorporated a theater into this massive shopping complex. I believe it's called the Hollywood and Highland Complex, which is where it's located. And it's an outdoor mall. It's a walking mall. And it was part of the revitalization of this area of Hollywood, very similar to what happened with the Disneyfication of Times Square in New York City. So that's what they've done here.
So wait a minute. You're at an outdoor
Now it's
mall?
the Dolby Theater. Yes.
You guys are standing at an outdoor mall?
Yeah, that's pretty much what the Hollywood. Well, right now we're on the street. Right now we are on Hollywood Boulevard. This entire street is closed down from Highland all the way down to, I don't know, 3 blocks down. And it's been like this for days. The most fascinating thing to watch is how quickly they can strike this set after the carpet is over. By the time the Oscars are done, by the time I wake up the next morning to go do voiceovers and join you on your morning, I would say 80% of the work is done. It is fascinating. But they've created in here in the Dolby Theater a theater that is perfectly designed and tailored for television and for the celebration of the visual arts. It is designed, the sound in there is fantastic, the sight lines are great, cameras can move in and out perfectly to give the over 1 billion viewers around the world the best view in the house.
All right, Ben, I can't wait to see the coverage starting on Sunday. Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure, and have a great, enjoy the rest of your morning.
Yeah, do me a favor. We didn't get to fist bump this morning. Can you point your fist at Dylan? Give you a fist bump.
Right here,
Have
Dylan.
a good show.
Right here. There you go.
All right.
Bye. See you soon.
All right. Don't you forget to watch the 89th Academy Awards Sunday evening right here on CTV. This all starts with eTalk's Ultimate Oscar Guide at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. You can head to ctv.ca for your local listings.